Welcome back to Everybody Loves Scott. Today we're back in the garage, and today what we're looking at is the 1988 Yamaha VMAX. I know it's not a Chinese bike, but I said I look at other bikes and review them as well. Welcome to Everybody Loves Scott's, where I review China bikes and I document the experience of the bike.
When you've gotten what you want, maybe I should start over.
This actually isn't a review. There's an issue I'm having with the bike, so I wanted to kind of go through this with you, and hopefully we can resolve the issue, and if not, maybe you guys can help me and tell me what the problem is. So what happened was, I went to start the bike, took it out, turned the key on, I had power, everything powered up. As soon as I hit the start button, everything went dead. So I haven't been able to get it started since, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put the key in there. Turn the key on, absolutely nothing. Okay, so initially looking at, I checked the battery to make sure that was good, because it would be like if you had no battery in the bike. And I checked the volts, and it was 12.4 volts, so it was reading good. So what I did is I got my manual out. I got the Climber manual just for this particular bike. I checked the wiring diagram and everything, and what I'm coming out to be is probably the starter relay. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take some parts off the bike. We're going to go ahead and replace the starter relay, and hopefully we get power to the bike. So I've already loosened everything up, so I'm going to go ahead and take the seat off. And a little cover for the airbox. And also the simulated air intake, just to kind of ease up the room of what we're working on here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually disconnect the battery, because anytime you're changing electrical components, it's probably a good idea to do that. Now the battery is buried down in here, and it's really kind of hard to get the connector on and off, so I took a piece of cardboard to put underneath the nut, so hopefully when it's time to put it back together, it'll be much easier. And this is just for safety's sake. Don't want any sparks and blow anything out. Just kind of get that out of the way so it's not on there. Okay. So the actual starter relay is right in here. So what I'm going to do is take this little cover off. Now this is where it actually attaches to the battery and everything. So I just wanted to make sure that I marked what side each one of these goes on. So I marked already with a piece of tape that it says R for the right hand side. So I take a 10 millimeter, take that nut off. Okay, just move that to the side a bit. And they got little rubber boots on them. Just trying to be careful not to drop the nut down in there. Okay. Okay, that's the negative side of it. Just kind of slide it out. There's one connector here. Okay, got that disconnected. Just take that out. And she's a little tight. Let me get a light on that. You might be able to see that better too now. Just trying to get it around that coil. You have to loosen the coil up, and there we go. Okay, we'll just slip that new one back in. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do now for this connector is put a little dielectric grease on there. That makes for a better connection. Doesn't take much. Just put it on the connector there. Okay, there, she's going in nice into there. Perfect. Okay, then we just take that nut off and reverse the order, putting it back on. Okay, that one's on tight. Okay, that's on. And then one other thing I wanted to show you what I also checked as far as like the battery, then I checked the main fuse. This is where the main fuses are as well. And because it's over 35 years old, I did change the fuses out. It didn't start the bike or anything, but I wanted to show you this is where the main fuses are actually located. So that's definitely something you want to look at. And then the regular set of fuses are up here for the ignition, headlight, and everything. And I actually changed out a couple of those. They did test good, but I changed them anyway. So now I'm going to just get a pair of safety glasses, hook the battery up, and see what we got. Okay, and this is the biggest trick, is actually getting that nut back in there. I think it's by design. They want you to take it into the shop and have somebody else do it. Let's not forget to put the coil back on. Everything in place before we fire up the battery. Wow, I actually got it. Okay. So that is replaced. The next step is to see if that was what solves the issue here, is just turn the key on. Let's hope for the best. And I got nothing. Okay. Well, if nothing else, we know how to change the starter relay. Showed you where the fuses are, where the battery, how to connect. We're going to do a little more work and try to get this figured out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Okay, we're back. It's been over a week, but I had to order a battery, and I believe maybe that's going to be the problem that we're going to resolve here, because we've already replaced the starter relay. And after I changed the starter relay, I checked the battery again, and it's dead. It was reading 6.7 volts. It's a 12-volt battery. So I bought a new battery, charged it up. It's at 13. So we're going to go through the process of actually replacing the battery. And as you can see, the battery is actually hidden underneath all this. So you got to start with these two bolts right here, removing these. And, you know, Japanese bike, you think it's a 10 millimeter. It's not. It's a 5/8. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Give us access to the battery. Okay. I'm just going to unscrew these coil packs. There's a rubber strap that actually holds the battery in there. I'm just trying to disconnect the battery. battery. And that's a negative cable, and then also I have a trickle charger for it, so that's what this other wire is for right here. You really bury it down in here. Just pull that out. There we go. Okay, put the new battery down in here. Okay. Okay, let me find all these cables and put it back together. Okay, it looked like it bit that time. Take my cardboard out. I don't know why they make that. If they just made them a little bit longer. Okay. Now we'll get the other side. Okay, now we'll put all this back. Plug everything else back in. Okay, based on that right there, time to turn the key on. See, we got power. And we don't. Okay, that means I got more research to do, more work to do. Okay, the battery's done. I'm going to keep working on this. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we're back at it with the VMAX here. We changed the battery, we changed the starter relay, still didn't get any power. Now the thing to remember is this is a 35-year-old bike. So there's some critical elements. So what I did is I took a little more time and a little more research, and I really wanted to check out all the connectors and the wires. You got to understand, over 35 years old, you may get some corrosion in there. So what I did is I went through all these little connectors here, took them apart, make sure they're clean, put some dielectric grease on them, and make sure that they have good contact, good connection, and everything. So another area that I looked into was up here was the ignition, where the key goes. So you can see there's some connectors here. This is for all the light controls. Took that apart, greased it up. And then I actually took this whole assembly off, and it connects back in here, and it was very corroded. So I cleaned it up real good, greased it, and I actually took this apart. When you pull this out, there's 2 screws in the back, and you can disassemble the whole thing. And then you can look at the contacts that are in here. They're brass contacts. I took a little sandpaper, cleaned them up, make sure I had good contact, put that back together. And I noticed the key even seemed to work a little bit better as well. Now another critical area on the bike for contacts are some of the relays over on the other side here. And that's why I got all these panels off. And this is a relay. It's a 9-pin connector relay. Took this apart, corroded. It was a mess. Cleaned that up, cleaned this one up, took them all apart, cleaned them up. Again, more grease in there, dielectric grease. Put it back together. So at that point, now we want to see if we've actually got some power. So I've got the key. We're going to put the key into the ignition that I rebuilt, took it apart and rebuilt. And we're going to turn the key and see what happens. And yes, we have power. So I'm going to hit the run button. And with that, you can actually hear the fuel pump getting ready to go. And I got to set the bike up, and I'm going to see about the starting. It's cold. Let me give her a little choke. And there it is. So it was a lot of work, a lot of different things to look at, but it's an older bike, and this is what it takes to actually make it work. We have success. I took the bike for a ride. Runs great. Sounds good. And I got to say, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one.